And then I go like 12 Nexus.
Oh, I'm going 4 pool, so.
Alright, and welcome to literally these two punks. It's gonna be Adel as the white Protoss in the bottom left versus Jormani.
I won't do the trick here,
It
because
is the
it doesn't
Bluezer
work
in the top right.
on the right side.
And what's going on
Oh, you
here
mean
is
the
we're playing
Badralva?
on Fighting
You
Spirit.
fool, why would you say that out loud? It kind of gives away something.
That's okay.
I play pretty standard, to be honest.
These
I'm going
knuckleheads won't stop
to
talking
scout
while
as
I'm trying to
usual.
commentate, but the idea being here that they're talking to each other. I'm not talking to them. But
I mean, maybe I'm lying. Actually, you
Yeah.
that makes it
And
out
they're loud
as
as
if
hell,
I'm
of
telling the
course.
truth. Nobody ever believes me, so.
I'm tapped out. I'm trying to upload a game that Nettles asked.
No builds.
Scouting probe. I actually don't know how to commentate. I just remembered. This is a scouting probe. This is a pylon. This overlord is taking a sweet time. Looks like both players are going for economic builds here. We got the gateway coming out. And our friend is here scouting to the bottom right. He didn't find him here, so he turned around. The overlord's still making his way over. Looks like we finally got the spawning pool. And we're gonna make a gas as well. That's important because that means he's definitely not expanding first. But the Protoss happens to be going to 10 and 12 gauge, so this timing is pretty strong against an overpool, especially the 2 gauge. It's not like the 2 gauge is a hard counter for overpool, but overpool suffers economically. There's not enough larva to make lings to hold off 2 gate zealot pressure with probes and the whole shebang basically. But he's got cross position now. This pylon's kind of hard for me to click on. Cross positions means this rush is gonna not be as effective, especially with the Zerg starting pool first. But the Protoss' goal should be to stop him from expanding then, so we can put pressure on the expansion with the Zealots. The thing is, he's going to have a very limited amount of time to do that, because if the Zerg gets gas and speedlings, they can kind of just run by the Zealots and do whatever. Looks like the probe is going to put a pylon down. He really doesn't want him to get that head tree.
Is Brad in here? I didn't see him. I forgot.
Hey, I'm commentating, but I'm not commentating to the players.
Gotcha. You're doing a commentary.
Well, here comes the zealot pressure up the map with the probe.
Be sure to use a lot of racial slurs for both of these players.
Yeah, we deserve it.
Right, that being the case, these two... Well, what would I call them? I would call them Indians. These two Indians are really not doing a whole lot here because they're such Indians, you know? I wonder if I would get my video taken down if I keep saying that they're Indians.
Wow, what a dick. I just realized what's going on.
I wonder if this is going to work. The Zealots should be able to just completely put the pressure on if the Zerg doesn't make the retreat colony. Oh, but if the Zealots
really
get
nice
surrounded by a large amount of speedlings, they all die. That's why they need to be grouped up and working together. Right, Scrappy? We need to make sure that these Zealots stay alive, or else, you know, the Zerg will just run by and kill this Protoss. Penis. Right? And this is where it gets interesting, is when the Protoss actually wants to cannon rush right behind the Zealots. I was thinking he would do this, but he really needs to make sure that the Zerg doesn't have that. And that's exactly what I think would be the strongest. If he gets the air units, he will survive anything the Protoss throws at him, Zealot-wise. He needs to make sure that he keeps the win count.
Why are they doing that if...
With the Zealot. Looks like the surrounds are going to take out all the zealots.
Wow.
There's a few lings left.
How am I
He
not?
has to account for the amount of zealots that are still coming. Well, I guess he's going to make the cannons so that he can take his natural. Which, this is the safer route because I don't think his push is going to keep working. I like that he's making his hatchery over here. He should have started that as soon as he couldn't get the hatchery at his natural, especially since the Protoss was basically going for a rush pressure build. He was rushing, he was powering with the zealots. But the powering doesn't work if he doesn't keep any of his zealots or do any damage with it. The reply is in time to stop the cannon from morphing to protect his base.
Oh,
So
shit.
he's going to have the Mutalist to back this up, and the Protoss does not even have a Cybernetics core in existence right now. He does have the gas started, but if he doesn't know to make cannons right now, which he only has enough for like 2, he's probably going to have to cancel. Oh, sorry. I can look at it. This is what he's thinking. Like, he's looking at it. He's like, oh, I got to stop these Zerglings from the Nexus. So he's not going to cancel the Nexus. He's confident that he can stop the Zerglings and Zealots. This is the thing.
Oh, fuck off.
Wow, Lucky gets
Lucky's
the
on
cannon with
fire
3
today.
Zerglings, and that's it. I'm gonna take it off his view. What's wrong?
Fucking me up, right?
He's sending some Zerglings again.
Oh, fuck. Hell.
Right here. If he can stop the cannon and make mutas behind this, I think he's got the game. Just because the push that the Zealots were initially doing at the start didn't do anything. The Speedlings really are pretty good at doing damage to the Protoss. The thing is, you have to keep them alive. Like how you have to keep the Zealots alive. Everything that you attack with, you want to keep it alive. Usually, you want to choose skirmishes and fights where you come out with a huge trade advantage. And that way, like, when the Zealots all gang up on a few Zerglings, that's really good for them. But the mutas are coming in now, and the Protoss has no idea. He only has enough minerals to pop up 1 cannon at will. And that's not good.
Oh, fuck.
Yes, he's now realizing that he's getting smashed by mutas, and that cannon is too little too late. And the Zerglings are going to come back it up. The 1 base muta. I just think he didn't know it was coming. Now, is he going to respond? Just cannons, man. It's not enough, man. You need to have something else going forward here. And the cannon gets canceled by the Zergling. Now, Lucky needs to mark these, otherwise the Adel Zealots can take them out. And we only have a 2 muta attack. If he puts up cannons in his main, this is going to be an even game. Lucky needs to take an expo. He's trying to go the humiliation route and win without getting the expansion since he's got pylon block. But he would be wise here to only like make these 2 mutas and expand out of this. Or at least do something else. Because he's idling all 3 larvae at his second hatchery. He doesn't even know it's there. Yes, that's a cannon. Cannons that block the expansion is complete now. Looks like we got more mutas, but 3 larvae! I wonder if those are mutas. This is gonna take forever for him to win with 2 cannons. I don't think Adel is going to. Yeah, just block this pro. It's hilarious. And he cancels it.
No!
Well, at least the Zealots are trying to make a push for it, but the Speedlings are just too good at catching them, and it really shuts down enemies' aggressive plays. You know, they're all coming out to play, but the Zerglings and Muta combo is smart. Taking on unmarked traded Zealots. So the mutas keep coming up to the top left portion of the base where it's out of range of this cannon. And they're able to... See, this is the thing.
Lucky, what are you
On
doing?
a position here, and that's what Hop is saying. We need to do that. my favorite part about Mutalisk is the bounce, so when they do attack the building, you can do damage to a building that's in range of a cannon by attacking another building. And that's one way to win slowly. And it forces this response out of the Protoss to send all the Zealots. He really thinks he can take him on, but he did smartly place a Sunken here. Thing is, 5 Zealots might be able to take the Sunken if there is no Muta response or Zerglings here. There's only the one Zergling. Ooh, first 2 Dragoons are out fighting Mutas. He's got a lot of damage. Right here. Just so it can all be in line. But this is really hurting him, trying to take this early and not getting it. Here comes the Zealot.
Brad, you gonna upload this game?
Yeah, I may. I don't really know. It depends on if I feel like it. Like, I'm not even a good caster, okay?
Why don't you just shit where you are? You're gonna cast it. I don't know, like
See, this is why the Sunken placement is so good, is because it makes it so hard for the melee unit AI to reach the Sunken. And so that's the only reason the 5 Zealots didn't kill the Sunken.
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit that I'm kind of getting.
That's good enough.
Look,
It's better than I would say.
But 4 mutas can take it down the Zealots before they get
Fucking Zerglings.
I think that not getting his expo early on is really hurting him. But the thing is, Lucky has not expanded off of this at all. He's been making all this stuff happen from one base. It's kind of amazing that he can do this much off of one base. I mean, I think that says a lot about his ability to manage his resources without an expansion. But it's still an all-in. I mean, one way or another, this is the guy that keeps trying to get a base. And just so happens that he's putting up the cannons right when Lucky attacks. This is the only reason Lucky has been able to be getting lucky. And then he goes right for the That's so messy. I bet Adele's picking himself. Oh, yeah, I can zoom in. So he's kicking himself because he hasn't been really getting anything done. But he isn't out of this yet. Yeah, that's the most amazing part, is that particular part of this whole thing. As I've been saying, there it goes. He's finally taking that bait. I mean, he was right until Lucky finally did. I mean, I considered this kind of the second base for the Zerg. Not mining, though. Like, it obviously is not next to resources, but resources for Zerg almost is the larva sometimes in the early portion of the game. Having that extra resource is almost like having a second base. At least in Zerg versus Zerg, in one base situations versus Protoss, is that extra larva. You need it for that Zealot count to be able to make the Zerglings and shut down the Zealot positioning and timings. But wow, he's got the lurkers coming out now. He doesn't give a fuck. One base gas can do this much. It's kind of wild if you think about it. All he needs is the one cannon to complete. Just will the cannon be in time, and will the lurkers be able to burrow? I don't know. Adel seems to be wise to this, and he's coming right up to start smacking these lurkers. He gets the first one. That is so important. That means Adel is probably going to establish this base, and there's unlikely any chance of Lucky taking it down. He does have more lurkers, but they're out of position here. They're not ready for the fight. He should have brought them all at the same time. That's the thing about pushing forward too early without having your stuff ready. You'll think, oh yeah, I need to work with this right away, like, and you'll send your first 9 mutas when you really should wait for 11. And if you wait for, yeah, like Hobbs is saying, like, this was his game to lose at this point, but his main thing is that he did deny this base for so long, but unfortunately, I feel like Protoss really gets kicked in off of 2 base. Protoss can 2 base all in the shit out of it. They get sick and tired of playing. They can just do like 4 gates with a robo, get an observer, make 5 or 6, all dragoon pump, and just, I mean, just smack into the Zerg. The Zerg Lurker Force is superior range. But I mean, if you really wanted to solve this, I say just get Reavers. Reaver shuttle with the Zergers. You can just poke them away, and the Lurkers will be countered. And that's the crazy part, is he knows that he does have mutas, but he completely stopped muta and air production at this point, so he could get that Corsair out and figure out what the hell's going on. But I mean, at this point, obviously you know that there's no chance that he's really going muta now. Sorry, let me take a breather real quick. I have some food in the microwave, and I don't think they're going to attack each other because Lucky is satisfied with this contain. But if, just in case, I'm going to place this thing here. Look, I saw that. Those Zerg units moved a little bit. Look, oh, the Observer's coming out, and now we have full-on engagement. The Lurkers are not completely in place, but those Zealots are taking so many spines. The Hydras are commanding into the Zealots' arms, but the thing is that those Lurkers are doing so much work on those Zealots. The Dragoons are going to be taking out all of these units, but he actually popped the Observer with the Overlord, so you can't keep pushing in with the Dragoons here. That's pretty smart. Pretty smart there, Lucky. At this point, Lucky is now feeling the pressure. His Lurker contain strategy is just going to work for only so long. He needs to come up with something new. He needs to have there's his third base going up. I should probably go check that, but I can't really. My cat is literally sitting on my mouse right now, so I'm just going to use my arrow keys to show you stuff. Here's his army, kind of setting up a contain, more units streaming in. That's his third base that he's making. We got this fourth hatchery I'll completely forget about. And look, you know, 3 larvae all day. But here comes the push. Oh, more Scourge snipes on the
You're such an annoying piece of shit.
Oh, wow.
And you can
God
hear the
bless.
verbal
Pimpest Play 2019.
frustration out of Adel, saying that this is so bullshit and not fun at all. And he's right, it's not fun at all, but he has a lot to work with the 2 bases. He doesn't even have a second gas hit. He doesn't need it. But High Templars, my dude, or Reavers. I mean, at this point, yeah, he's getting the Reavers, but High Templar, man. Looks like he's going Hydra heavy. And I think Lucky might be thinking about Hive Tech. Maybe not. I really don't think he's thinking a lot, actually, at all. He just wants to keep this contain up because he's afraid the product gets close.
Oh shit, Reaver. But
Yeah, but
Now this is the most interesting thing. He has to keep the Observer alive in order to play the Reaver. And he knows that there's Scourge and Hydra trying to snipe. So you better be careful with the positioning. You better support that Observer with this Dragoon. And I think it would help him a lot to get the Observer out there. He knows that he needs him. He knows how important it is. So get the Observer speed upgrade or dodge some Scourge or Hydra. So now he's going to come in, he's going to snipe the Observer right there. Boom! Why did... You got to move it around. You got to kite it. You can't just leave it there to die. But here comes all the Dragoons that are coming in. Just rampage through. A second Observer comes through. I mean, if you just keep making Observers, you might as well upgrade them since you make it so much.
Protosopi!
And see, Lucky's here has got the complete wrong idea about what's going on. His issue is that he's concentrating so much energy on the opponent's particular area that he's forgetting to do anything about his side of the map. Which means all of his attention is down here where the Protoss is, and none of it is where you know, he needs drones on the mineral lines, he needs tech, he needs a game plan, and he's kind of just going for it. I think this is really going to be what ends him, because not having a follow-up, he's at almost half the army supply. The Protoss is going to have a lot easier time in one little area, pumped up here, so his attention isn't needed to spread all the way to like the Zerg's choke. He didn't set up a contain. So it was so important for that contain not to fail, because he poured so much energy and resources into it that it was all that he really had. Now he doesn't have the proper defenses for this attack, and he's just going to get slaughtered. I think the cutest touch to this whole attack is the Reaper. He brought it with the shuttle. But he built the Reaver first before he got the shuttle. Because when you're defending with Reavers, you just need them to pop out of the robot. Well, I think this is it. That Lake No Hunters FFA where you'll have Mercy Rule or time to rebuild in another area. Like, he does have another base, but the fact that he's losing all of his main tech, it's why we really do put an emphasis on defending your tech. Like, it's so important not to let that die as hurt, because it's like the core parts of your economy. Having the tech builders, they allow for everything. But he has no chance. The Protoss is too robust with the two bases, and the Zerg just hasn't done enough with what bases he's done. And he hasn't been able to expand quickly. That was the main thing. He forgot that maybe he needs that follow-up. That follow-up setup. I mean, you guys have no trouble expanding in the game where you don't think anyone's going to hit you, but in these 1v1s, you don't know when to expand enough. And really, the only time you should just think, well, I'll expand once the mutas are done. Or once I start the mutas, it's time to expand, because I spent a lot of my resources mostly into gas. That means I'll have a surplus of minerals. So set up to take your expansion right after you have the units that will protect the expansion. Always have that line of thinking. Like the same thing with, I'm going to attack, so I expand. That's what Day 9 would always say. You need to follow the grades, and if you have never heard of it. So. I mean, we got a whole second group ready to go. Protoss has eliminated this hatchery. He has a whole army up here. He just needs to find Lucky's new base. And at this point, I would just say GG. There's no way he's going to rebuild his tech in time. Protoss is just going to annihilate him. And it looks like he's got a hunch of where to go. Adel doesn't even really need to take his third, because he's just so far ahead that at this point Lucky's just delaying the game. That's a whole, like, 80 army supply. There's no chance. Not even one lurker could ever defend this. Even if that lurker was able to have time to shoot at all the units without detection the whole time, these units are taking up Lucky's stuff. Lucky would still be eliminated before he killed all of them. That's how little that lurker is going to do. In fact, the lurker can't really move up there because there's an observer up there. So now it's coming down, that lurker dies. Oh, so now what he's going to do is he's going to rebuild his hatchery at his original main. That's really fucking stupid, honestly, if you ask me. He used the larva to build a drone that he burrowed, and then took the drone up here. He knows he's lost, but he's just purposely delaying the game. This is that Bulgarian Indian style of play. Like to play this kind of way. they go ahead and migrate or whatever, you know, to the other side of the world just because, you know, no one told them to do it, they just did it, you know?
Oh my god.
We all do it.
I clicked the pro.
That doesn't mean we're gonna keep doing it in the 21st century.
What the fuck were you trying?
Lucky.
Oh, really?
Lucky, don't let him kill you. Cancel. Oh, you could have gone out like a man.
No, never.
So he's gonna build a gas, maybe? That's really gay. I really wish he would just leave and GG. I think I'm like an
Adel,
actual...
can I try playing you after ZVP?
Sure.
Or is it late and you need to go?
Because at this point, now he's just making the video longer, and I don't really want the video to go longer. So I think I might just end it here. You're not gonna get to see the score screen, or I could just leave and then show the score screen. It looks like. Let me reiterate. Do not do this. This is annoying.
Hello?
I've done it, but then again, as soon as I
Hello?
compel the other player to fight me, fight my units that I have left, then I leave as soon as I've lost an army. Like, there's a difference between doing this
Hello?
in a 1v1 and doing it in a
Hello?
period.
There you
So,
go.
good game.
That was a
waste of
crazy
time.
fucking game, to be honest.
It
Like,
wasn't even that
Lucky,
good of a game.
you
It's
can't imagine
crazy
how
that
many
it's
times you had the advantage and you lost it.
yeah.
Like, if you were more careful with your Mutalisks, you could have crippled him even more, and then you should have sat back, took a couple expansions, but you tried to go in for a kill, and then he got cannons and dragoons, and you put yourself behind.